All right, friends, starting out in a child's pose today, I'd like to recommend, something a little different than what I would normally start out in. Let's take a wide knee child's pose. You could take your toes together, of course, sitting on your feet, but take the knees kind of wide and just kind of play around with that. You can walk your hands out, always taking your time, of course. Get that head nice and low. And come on down. And then, as always, just begin your practice by grounding and connecting with your breath and the sensations in your body. Big inhales through your nose, filling your lungs. And big exhales through your nose, cleaning out your lungs completely. Spread open your rib cage on the inhale, stretching open your back from the inside. And on the exhale, all the tissues of the belly and the rib cage contract inward. So take some time here just building this big breath, building this huge wave of breath that moves your torso, your belly, your rib cage a lot. You can allow your forehead to really press down. You can walk your hands out. And if it feels okay on your back and your neck, keeping your neck nice and long, you can start to look forward at your hands, okay? Lengthening that spine a little bit more, but only if it feels right. Okay, if you notice your shoulders kind of hunching up by your ears, you want to pull those things away and maybe back it up, forehead back to the ground. But wherever you are, spend a few more breaths here. Just allowing your body to soften toward the floor. Noticing how you're feeling today, not just physically, but energetically. Notice your overall energy level. Notice the mental and emotional climate that you're walking into your practice with. And notice without judgment. Just notice what is and be with what is. And that's a powerful place to be. All right, friends, from this nice wide knee child's pose, grip with your hands and pull yourself up to hands and very wide knees. You can take your hands more under your shoulders and keep your hips just about over your knees. And we'll take some hip circles from here, kind of circling side, front, side, back. Okay, just kind of a funky movement to get your hips a little more awake as the head of your femur moves around in your hip socket. Okay, let's rewind that a few times. Just getting a little movement in there. All right, and let's bring it back to center and pause here. Let's take the knees to a more normal position underneath your hips. Okay, and starting with that right leg, right knee up in the air, go ahead and point the right knee behind you. Point the right toe up at the ceiling. And take a moment here to just establish yourself in a strong position, pushing against the floor with your upper body, pulling those elbows inward slightly. Okay? And then lift the belly button away from the floor. So we want to keep a very strong belly muscle, low back support system. And then finally, make sure the right hip is tucking under and remains internally rotating as we begin to move. So just like we're doing a cat-cow, okay, just moving the spine, same idea, we're just adding this little tail, the right leg. So with your inhale, pull back on your hands, pull your heart forward, arching your spine. Think of moving that right toe toward the back of your head. It doesn't matter how close it gets. And with your exhale, push the floor away, round your spine. Pull that right knee towards your nose. You're opening up the back of your body here. Let's do that again. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Pull open the front body, big stretch. And exhale, push the floor away, round your spine, opening up the back body. So let's take a few more like this. Just find a little rhythm that works for you. You can even close your eyes. And you can make this very gentle, very soft and easy. Or if you're feeling a little more spicy in your practice today, you can make it a little more spicy. You can deepen the range of motion. So that's the wonderful thing about a yoga practice. You can always be modifying in the moment for the vibe that you're looking for. Okay, next time you pull that toe towards your head, you're extending and arching your spine. Hold it right there. Keep your arms strong, elbows moving in. Keep pulling back on that hand, okay? We want to open the front body, use the back body, and warm it a little bit. Keep breathing. Maybe bend the knee a little more, send the toe a little closer. Big breath. Maybe one more big breath in here. And then let's flip it around. Exhale, push the floor away again. Round that spine, pull the right knee into your nose and hold and breathe right here. Okay, stretching open your back body. Push that floor. Let your head really hang. Okay, let it go. Now you could stay here, or you could challenge yourself a little bit. You could bend that left knee, come up on the left kneecap. So you're just balancing on the left kneecap, okay? You can also spread your right fingers really wide, push into the right hand a little more, and reach forward with the left hand. So really challenging yourself here to balance on one kneecap and one hand. Whew, a fun little challenge. Maybe one more breath here, just kind of exploring. And then release that left hand to the floor, right knee back to the floor. And we'll take a little break in a forward fold. So tuck your toes, lift your knees up, and walk your hands back to your feet. Keep those knees nice and bent, okay? So bent that your hands touch the floor. And shake your head as you sway side to side. So just kind of gently feeling out the backs of the legs here. You might notice some tension in your hamstrings or calves, and that's okay. Okay, without forcing them to open up, just gently move your knees. Okay, and with your inhale, push into your heels. Go ahead and roll yourself up to standing. Take it a long time to go up, 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 up. Okay, at the very top of your stance, maybe lift your heart. Tiny little back bend feeling, lifting your hands to look up. And let's take a side bend here. As you exhale, drop your right hand to your right thigh, push into your feet, and reach the left hand overhead. Big side bend. Let's come up through center. Big breath in, up through center. Little tiny back bend. And over to the other side. This time the left hand slides down your left leg as you exhale. Reach that right hand to the left. Coming up through center with both hands this time. Big breath in, little back bend. Then exhale here, hinging at your hips, fold it all the way down. You can bend your knees here. With your inhale, just come halfway up. Look forward. Think of putting weight in your toes and your fingers. And then with your exhale, big fold. You're going to hug your legs towards you. You can bend the knees here too. All right, palms are down here. With your inhale, just walk it forward to hands and knees and come right back where we started. Okay, we're back here. Let's do the other side. Okay, just like we did before. So this time the left knee is out behind. Left toe points at the ceiling. And take your time establishing an upper body push against the floor. So elbows inward. We have a strong chest. Strong belly moving in toward the low back to protect it. And a nice internal rotation in the left hip. So we do our best to keep the hips level with each other here, even though it's challenging. So just like before, with your inhale, pull back on your hands, move your heart forward and arch your spine. Pull that left toe towards your head. Stretching open your front body. Exhale, push the floor away, rounding your spine, stretching open your back. Pull that knee to your nose. So let's do a few more like that. Inhale, extend your spine. And exhale, round your spine. Close your eyes. Just find a unique rhythm that really suits you. Don't worry about my rhythm. I'm just holding space for you right now. Feel that big movement in your spine. Okay, maybe the next time you pull that toe, that left toe, toward the back of your head, we'll hold that one. So toe to head and hold it right there and breathe. So keep the upper body strong here. Keep pulling that heart forward. The upper body is on. We're lifting the belly and breathe. Long neck. Feel the back body on the clock here, warming so that we can open it. And the front body big and soft. Maybe bend the left knee a little more. Pull the toe a little closer. One more breath. And then push the floor away, round your spine, pull that left knee to your nose and hold it here and breathe. So I want you to really let that head go, okay? Shake it out, let it hang. You could stay here, or you could bend that right knee, point the right toe up, balancing on your right kneecap. Then you'd want to put some extra weight in your left hand, spread those left fingers wide, and see if you could reach forward with the right. Balancing here, you want a strong core. Breathe deeply and don't take it too seriously. We're just balancing. Maybe one more breath here, a little challenge. Whew. And then let it go. Right hand down, left knee down. Tuck your toes, lift those knees, and bring it all the way up and back to a forward fold. Go ahead and walk your hands back to your feet. Just shake it out. And again, softly bending knees, your hands touch the floor, or at least your fingers. Just sway a little bit. Feel out the legs. Okay, notice your low back lengthening as it hangs from your hips. And as you're ready, we're rolling it up again. So push into your heels, inhale here, and stack yourself up really slowly. Make it last. Okay, lifting your heart at the top of your stance, lift your arms too. And let's take another side bend, just like we did before. With your exhale, right hand slides down your right leg, left arm reaches overhead, push into your feet. And then inhale back up to center with that tiny back bend. Other side here, exhale here, left hand slides down the left leg, right arm reaches. And then inhale all the way up to center, tiny back bend. Big exhale here as you hinge at your hips. We're folding it all the way down. Come on down to the floor. And then again, walk your hands forward and find hands and knees. We're back there. Okay, let's get a little more into your legs, okay, and hips and low back. Let's take the right foot forward, set it down by your right hand. And we can play around with moving the left knee back a little bit if that feels nice. And take some time settling into your lunge. So in your lunge, you want to be sure that you're comfortable. So make sure the back knee has a pad under it if you need to. And if you need to back out, you can send the back knee forward and lift your hips away from the floor. If you're feeling good about it and you want to dive in, you're going to let your hips sink closer down to the floor. But no matter where you are, engage your legs into the floor and push it gently away. Okay, so each leg pushes down. And breathe here. And we'll just take a little time engaging and noticing how that lunge feels. Okay, you could stay here if this is real comfortable for you and you want to stay like this. Or you could use that right knee to press up into more of a low lunge that uses the weight of your upper body to gently press down onto your hips. So you'll notice that right away. You can use the right knee as a prop as well if you need a little extra gentleness. But if all is going well here, reach your hands up. You can even interlace your fingers, flip those palms high, and think of peeling open your chest. And let's hold and breathe here in your low lunge. Gently push that floor. Pull the belly button in and maybe lift your heart here up away from the floor. Maybe one more really big breath here in your low lunge, allowing your hips to open, soften the legs, even your heart and your chest here. And let's bring it down, hands back underneath your shoulders if you brought them up. And we're gonna see if we could sink a little lower into this, kind of let go into it. So maybe you'll start bending your elbows here. Okay, keeping that gentle resistance of your legs pushing the floor, but also keep in mind, we wanna move this right knee inward towards your right shoulder. So keep it close to you. And maybe your elbows even come down to the floor. Maybe just one elbow comes to the floor, okay? So you'll just play around with that. Keep the legs resisting the floor, pulling inward with that right knee, and maybe drop your head. All right, maybe taking two more long, slow breaths here. Okay, feeling that low back release. Hamstrings releasing on the right side. Okay, hip flexors releasing on the left. And let that head hang with a long neck. As you're ready, make your way out of this. Take your time. Hands Slowly coming back underneath your shoulders to push you up and out. Okay, let's bring it back to hands and knees from here. And then we'll get off this left knee for a bit. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Again, walk your hands back to your feet. Okay, this time we're going to explore a funky forward folding option. Go ahead and step your right foot in front of your left. And then pivot on your right heel to turn the right toes to the right. Okay. And then you're going to walk your hands all the way out to the right so that all your fingers also point to the right. And let's hold here. So first of all, if you need to bend your knees a lot, then you will. And in general, if your fingers don't touch the floor, that means you need to bend your knees. So we want at least your fingertips down, okay? We don't want your upper body just hanging unsupported. If you can extend your knees and put your hands down, then that's fine. But just don't lock them, okay? Make sure they're a little bit soft. If you want a little bit more, you can walk your fingers so they point all the way behind you. And again, you'll bend your knees if you need to. And keep that head nice and hangy. Let it hang. So we're twisting your spine here. We're opening up that left side. Maybe you feel the left hip all the way across the left side of your back, even up into your left armpit, opening up. And then as you're ready, walk your hands back through center, and we'll switch sides. Bringing that right foot back underneath your right hip. Let's step the left foot in front this time. Okay, pivot on the left heel, point the toes to the left. And you could stay here if you wanted, okay? Especially if your fingers have a hard time getting to the floor, just bend those knees. Focus on touching the floor and letting your head hang, and softness. If you can extend the knees without locking and everything's fine, walk your hands to the left, fingers point to the left. So you'll feel that stretch growing along the right side here, IT band, glute, low back, and maybe even walk the fingers to point all the way behind you. No matter where you are, breathe. Hang your head, enjoy. Spaciousness in the legs, spaciousness in the whole back of your body, the sides. Let's bring this back to center here. Hands back in front of you, feet back to normal. And then again, we're gonna roll it up. So push into your heels, roll yourself up to standing, reach up tall. Okay, right here, interlace your fingers, flip your palms high. Okay, with your exhale, send your hands out to the right, just like you're pushing out to the right. And let's hold right there and breathe. Now I'm gonna give you a little funky challenge. Okay, you're reaching your hands out to the right. Put some extra weight into your left foot and come up on your right toes. So you're lifting your right heel. Is it possible that you could point the right toes out to the right? You might even touch the toe down, okay? Pointing those right toes out to the right, you might lift that right foot in the air. Hold and breathe. So hands are pushing to the right. Right toe is pointing to the right. It's lifted or not. And you're creating this curvy shape with your body, only supported by your left leg. Go ahead and pull that belly button in. And keep breathing. One more big breath here. And then let it go. You're going to drop that right foot. Okay, big breath in as you lift your heart here, tiny back bend. And then exhale here, you're going to send your hands out to the left, and we'll do the other side. So hands pushing to the left, put some extra weight in that right foot. Lift the left heel. And then perhaps slowly point the left toes out to the left. You can touch the toe down, or you can lift, creating a curvy shape. Okay, the whole right side of your body curving. Big breath. Pull that belly button in. One more big breath here, yogis. And then let it go. Back to center here. One more big breath just to lift your heart. Little back bend. And then exhaling here, let it go. We're going to fold it, hinge it all the way down. On your inhale, just come halfway up and extend your spine to look forward. Put some weight in your fingers and toes. Then exhale here, very big fold, hugging your legs close to you. Okay, palms come down here. Walk yourself forward to hands and knees. And we'll meet back here and do the other side. So this time, let's get that left foot forward by your left hand. And then take a little time here, putting the right knee where you want it, maybe patting the right knee if you need to. And just a little bit of time to get your low lunge to feel just right. Okay, start to activate your legs against the floor here. So we want, as always, an active stretch rather than a passive stretch. That's how we're going to get the best results and a more effective practice overall. So actively pushing the floor down with both legs. Now you could stay here. You could come up on your fingertips, okay? Or if you're comfortable in your lunge, you can use that left knee to press up. And you can keep the left knee for support. Or reach your hands up, okay, and kind of dive into this big full body stretch across the front, down into the right hip and the back of the left leg. So big breath here. We're just breathing, just pushing the floor with the legs and lifting that heart. In your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Big deep breath. All right, enjoying this spacious posture, taking up all the space in it. Reach out into all the corners. Allowing the legs to get a little bit warm so that we can more effectively release where we need to. Maybe one more big breath here. And then let's let it go. Drop your hands under your shoulders if they were up. And then we'll start to sink a little bit more into this. So hands are down. You'll start to bend your elbows a little bit more maybe. And maybe today you just have a little bend. Maybe you're just hanging your head with your long neck. Okay, or maybe today you're coming down to one elbow, maybe two. Just know that there's no rush and there's no perfect one single right way to be here. Okay, it's right if it feels good. Okay, continue to push that floor with your legs and continue to move that left knee in towards your left shoulder. Make a lot of space in your neck and breathe. Okay, you're feeling that left hamstring open up, perhaps the right hip flexor, lots of extra space in your low back. Big breath here, just enough effort to be here, nothing more. See if you could relax your face, your hands and feet, your neck. How about one more nice breath here? All right, take your time coming out. You know there's no rush. Back up to hands. Back to hands and knees. We need to scoot the right knee forward maybe. Hands and knees. And then again, tuck your toes here. Lift your hips. Walk your hands back to your feet. Another forward fold. However, this time, let's walk the feet a little wider than your hips are. Turn those toes outward slightly and let your hips drop down into a squat, malasana squat. Okay, take your time. If you need to keep your hands down and your hips up, you can. You can take as much time as you want to let the hips drop. Okay, I'm going to turn just slightly so that you can see that my feet are a bit more than hip width, toes turned out slightly, and we can get palms together if they come off the floor easily. So make your spine nice and long here. Think of lifting that chest up and open. Okay, we'll just play around a little bit with this posture. So I want you to have active legs here. So once you get in the posture and you're comfortable, activate your legs, pushing into the floor slightly. And that's where we're going to get the release that we're looking for. Okay, if the legs are passive, we may not be feeling a whole lot happening. So active push down into both legs. Okay, and then think of drawing the knees apart from each other. You can even use your elbows to push the knees apart. And of course, remember to keep your spine nice and long. So you could stay here, or you could play a little bit. Tuck that right shoulder in front of the right knee. Okay, you could reach that right hand out and grab the floor on the right. And the left hand can come up and reach away from the right. So adding a little gentle twist here, little heart opening, chest opening. You could stay just like this, or you could wrap the right arm behind that right knee to touch your back and take the left arm behind your back to find the right. The hands may find each other today. They might not. But either way is good. Go ahead and reach anyway and breathe. Push the floor with your legs. Maybe looking up over that left shoulder. One more big breath here. Okay, untwist yourself the way you came in. And we'll see if we can bring it around the other way. So this time we could tuck the left shoulder in front of the left knee. Reach that left hand out far and the right hand up. So you could stay right here. Opening up the right side of the chest. Or left hand hooks behind the back, right hand hooks behind the back. And maybe they find each other. Keep breathing, keep pushing that floor. Okay, getting into the low back here, getting into your hips. Maybe one more breath right here in this big malasana squat bind. Okay, come out the same way you came in. This time, walk your hands forward away from your hips. See if you could just drop your head. Let your neck be long. Keep those legs active. All right, friends, to come out of this, very simply walk your hands back towards your hips and see if you could just come down to a seat from here. Shake out your legs. Whew. Go ahead and expand your hips out of that flexion. Okay, my friends. Let's bring the right knee into a bend and slide that right foot up so it steps on your left thigh. Okay, sitting up nice and tall here. So you might notice that it could be difficult to sit up tall. If that's the case, you just put a bend in your left knee, and hopefully that gives you a little more ease to sit up straight and tall. But long spine, please, and active legs. So actively push down into the floor, please, with both legs. Okay, and then just start to walk your fingers out along each side of your left leg towards your left toes. And there's no rush, of course. You have all the time in the world. But think of long spine with each inhale. Think of lengthening your heart towards your left toes, shoulders away from your ears. With your exhales, think of simply pushing your legs into the floor. And we'll take a few more moments just breathing like that. Long spine inhale. Exhale, push the legs into the floor. So you're just allowing yourself to naturally fold forward. And at some point you might feel, okay, this is as much as I can fold. And then you don't have to force yourself to keep going. So just stay where what feels natural and just keep breathing. Long spine inhale. Push the floor with your legs on your exhale. Your elbows might come down under your shoulders. Keep breathing. So I want you to keep that left leg active, okay? Keep pushing down into the floor. Engage the top of your left thigh, your quadriceps, by trying to move your left kneecap up towards your hip. See if that helps. Long spine, inhale. Push the floor away, exhale. Maybe one more breath here in this lovely forward fold, opening up your back body a little bit more. And start to walk yourself up and out. There's no rush. Take your time. Hands walking back up by your hips. Let's pick the right knee up, point it up at the ceiling, and stamp that right foot on the floor. And we'll turn this into a twist. So you can use your left arm to hold the right leg very close. Okay, right fingers behind you. Push the floor down and make your spine extra long. And let's breathe here, looking over that right shoulder. Big twist. Okay, we want to keep the same idea here, so we still have a long spine inhale. We still have a pushing the floor down feeling on the exhale. If you want to move more deeply into the twist, you can take the left elbow to the outer right knee. Long spine. And push the floor. Maybe one more breath here in your twist, recalibrating your spine, detoxifying your organs, massaging your whole back. All right, let's bring ourselves back through center here. Go ahead and extend both legs. Drop your hands behind you. And just to stretch out the front of your body here, you can put just enough bend in your knees to put your feet on the floor. And then lift your hips up to the ceiling here. A little crab posture, okay. You can keep your chin tucked if it feels more comfortable that way. You can also lengthen your neck and think of pointing the top of your head at the back of your space. But keep your neck long on the front, sides, and back, please. Push that floor, stretching out the fronts of your shoulders, your hip flexors. One more big breath here. And then come on down. And we'll switch sides. So now the right leg will be the long leg, and the left leg will bend. Okay, bend that knee, slide the left foot up to step on your right inner thigh. If it's hard to sit up straight, you're bending your right knee to give yourself a little more space. And we'll take our time. So fingers on either side of your right leg. Long spine, inhale, heart always moving forward with the shoulders moving back. And exhale, push the floor with your legs. Push it down. Fold naturally with no force. Always inhale, long spine. And always exhale, push the floor. And you have time. There's no rush. Okay, help yourself out by strengthening this right leg on the front and the back. So use that right kneecap, move it up towards your hip. Okay, strengthening your quad will release the hamstring a little bit more. And remember to enjoy yourself and just look for a good feeling. No strain, no pain. Your elbows could come down. Your neck remains long. Allow your back body to soften and melt here. Maybe one more breath in your forward fold. And start walking yourself up and out of this. Take your time. You could take the left knee and point it straight up. And then we'll transition this into a twist. So right arm holds the left knee, and you look over your left shoulder with the left fingers behind you for a nice twist. Long spine, inhale. Feet and legs push the floor on your exhale. Right, you want to go deeper into the twist. Right elbow outside the left knee. Remember to breathe into your ribs here. Breathe into the whole back body. Twisting, massaging it. One more breath here. And then untwist yourself here. You can drop your hands behind you again. Extend your legs. And then again, just enough bend in your knees to put your feet on the floor. And then again, lift your hips into a reverse plank. Okay. Make sure it feels good on your shoulders. And make sure it feels good on your neck, especially if you wanted to point your head behind you. And then if you feel inclined here and you feel like a little exploration, you can extend one leg completely. Okay, make sure all your toes are on the floor. You want all 5 toes down. Now you could do just one leg or you could do both. Okay, and try a reverse plank. Breathing deeply here. Push the floor away. Spread open the front of your body and make sure to tuck that chin. Maybe one more breath here in your reverse plank. And then release yourself slowly all the way down to the floor. Cross your legs here and find a comfy seat. Just any comfy seat that you like. Okay, and I'll turn to face you because this is where we'll finish this practice. So find a restful seat. Close your eyes here and just let yourself rest in the moment, in the sensations from your practice. And let your breath slow down to be effortless and uncontrolled. Your body already knows what to do with your breath. Feel your lungs naturally inflating effortlessly, naturally deflating with ease. Feel your body soft and easy, no tension. Maybe some extra softness in your face and your jaw, and perhaps a little smile. Notice everything about this moment. Thoughts, sensations, everything. Let everything you observe about this moment be a part of your sense of being, a sense of gratitude in this wonderful moment. So friends, please keep resting like this for as long as you can. Okay, the longer the better. Thanks so much for practicing with me.